This probably is the 14th episode we are shooting, and I welcome you again on the Grey Matter. The most difficult part that has been for this episode is the introduction of a dear friend and a guest on the show. The last name was a bit of a challenge for me, besides the multiple challenges that I will discuss, which will be in this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jesse Agbotse.
Thank you.
Jesse, thank you so much for being here. We already feel the pressure. You feel pleasure, we feel the pressure. We are pressurized. This towering personality, Jesse, is sitting right now, so he's on a level playing field, but he's at least a foot taller than me and a few tens of pounds stronger in muscle and fitness.
Not all that much, just,
I almost fainted a while back. You can see by the disheveled look that I have, the push-ups that he made me do and the squats he made me do, because I just asked for his suggestion. So it's been great so far, and I hope we all can learn and impart. What Jesse is building is phenomenal, and we're glad that he's here with us on the Grey Matter for the world to know something which was very, very inspiring, so to speak, something which is really clutter-breaking in real sense. And it sort of made sense that there are so many open threads that we have, and we try to control things, but at times when there is a structured scientific process to achieving something, this guy brings it all. Thank you.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. This is, I feel very honored to be here because, I know that we've been, in essence, just circling around each other like shooting stars, and it was only a matter of time before we were able to collide forces. So this is actually phenomenal, and I couldn't be happy. Oh, this is more than the Big Bang. There's a lot happening here. So thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yes. Jesse, we've spoke about your app. We'll know more about the app. But first, do tell us, how do you get in those proteins to work and convert into some muscles? Considering somebody has a DNA deeply rooted in the South Asian culture of Pakistan.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, first, for starters, I think the best approach always starts with your intention for the day. So when you wake up in the morning, how do you wish to achieve your goals for the day? What are you looking to achieve by the end of the week? What are you looking to achieve by the end of the month? Right? And it always comes down to the footstep right in front of you. So as far as the secrets, I can't give you all my secrets. You might have to pay me.
But certainly, and that reminds me of a point that he is a top-rated coach with the highest rating at Equinox in New York. So if anyone is looking to, look good to start with and also feel healthy both physically and mentally, Jesse's the guy.
Absolutely.
So, do you want to give out any secrets? I understand, I get that. Any basic tips? You made us do 50 push-ups each.
Yes.
Khurram struggled, but not as much as I did. So
I need a lot of water after that.
You did, yes.
Well, I'm glad that we hydrated, because that's actually one of the main things that we don't want to skip each day. Yeah. As a matter of fact, whenever I'm counseling my clients and coaching them through, what to pay attention to, right? Our framework, our holistic health coaching framework is based on 4 principles, right? Proper routine, proper recovery and sleep, proper fitness and activity and movement, and proper nutrition, right? So one of the aspects being hydration, there's a lot of things that water can do for the human body, and a lot of us don't put into perspective how important it is. I'll give you an analogy though. Take a dish sponge, right? A dry dish sponge. I want you to imagine a dry dish sponge, dry, and I want you to twist it. Think of that as your muscles while dehydrated. Your heart is a muscle, your tissues, everything in your body. Think of it as a dehydrated dish sponge. Now, when you pour water on that same dish sponge, right, it becomes more malleable. Even when you're twisting it around, nothing's flaking because it knows how to adapt with the different demands that you place on it. So that's one of the importance of water. So those 50 push-ups that we did we're just getting started.
What an analogy.
I had good water today.
There you go.
Thank me.
We're winning.
Thank you.
We're winning. Yes. So yeah.
So I'm so excited about muscles and exercise and water. I almost feel like going out and doing exercise again.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
drink a lot of water.
Yes.
So we have been discussing about the flow state and the mental health and the mental flow.
Right.
Tell us more about it. What's happening around it?
So the flow state is something recently, it's not too recent, but this is a science that's beginning to explode. So I actually came upon this while working for the Department of Health and Human Services, where we have a lot of access. I was a manager for the HHS, and we have a lot of access to different research, right? Ongoing research, the research that's going to happen, currently the year is 2025, right? So back in 2021, I saw the research where now that we're seeing things on Instagram as of this summer, research now shows blah, blah, blah. Back in 2021, I saw when that research was going into being conducted.
All
Right. So because of that, that's where my passion. So I originally wrote a paper. My first paper, first of two papers, was titled "Not All Hours Are Created Equal."
Not all hours are created equal.
Not all hours are created equal.
Right.
And this came from the basis of, out of the 7 days in the week, there's 168 total. Right. We're awake for about 120 to 125 of those hours. But if you ever notice that 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. feels different from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., right? That will compel you to start asking, if there are peak hours in my body, how many of them are there? And how can I get more? And so on.
And are they similar across different humans, or are they custom?
Great question. So the human genome, right, allows us to answer your question real quickly, across all humans for the most part, there are 3 sleep chronotypes, right? There are the morning types, early birds. There are the late types, which we'll call them the night owls. And then we have our middle intermediate types, right? So for the most part, these are our 3 different types of people. People who, when they wake up in the morning, the energy goes up. People who just need to warm up a little bit for their energy. And then there are people who it takes a while, and then in the evening, boom, there's an explosion of creativity and creative energy and brain power from some
So
of these
it
people.
depends certainly on personality types, or it depends on culture, where you're born, what are you eating. So it's a mix of that, or it's like connected with the soul type.
It's a mixture of a whole lot of different things. To put it simply, we all have a specific tendency. Now, we can definitely shift things around, but the way body clock science, which is called chronobiology, the way it works is there are 2 points of your 24-hour cycle, right? The body has a 24-hour cycle, of course, and there are 2 points where your body temperature is lowest, right? So where your body temperature is lowest, it's also where your blood pressure is the lowest. It's where your alertness or energy levels are the lowest, right? These are typically the indicators of, we'll call it the anchor of your body clock. So with that being said, the point that it's lowest, about a few hours after that, will be your natural wake-up call. Or so if your body temperature is lowest at 2 a.m., between 12 to 2 a.m., then you're probably a 5 a.m. wake-up person. Yes.
Cool. And how do we analyze this ourselves? Can we do that for ourselves?
Yes. So I'm going to be a shameless plug and tell you to download Spir. Because
That's what this is all about, guys. Before he goes on and tells us what the science is about, this is the science that has been keeping us up and, disrupting our body clocks and trying to figure out how we do it. Apparently, we have to buy the app and subscribe to it for us to know how it works and how it can help us. And now the gentleman, Jesse, is here in person, in human form, telling us about Spir. That's the scientific discovery that I was telling you about, and let's learn together.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is the best stage to, be shameless.
Absolutely. Indeed. Man, I gotta say, I'm actually flattered to be on a podcast with you gentlemen, because I'm kind of nervous. So just like bear with me, because
We're nervous.
You're nervous? Well, this is awesome then. Maybe this was a, worlds collide, Big Bang thing going on. Yes. So as I was saying, the flow state. I know I skipped over that question. I didn't forget about that one. The flow state is when you feel your highest level of cognition and presence, right? I want you to think of all the most insane and impressive sports moments you've ever seen, where that one sports athlete did something that was extremely focused. Maybe Odell Beckham from the New York Giants, when he caught a catch with one hand while falling backwards running at full speed. Maybe that NASCAR driver when we made that turn to get into the first place, right? These soccer, baseball, etc. These moments where even when you watch it on television, you're like, wow,
How did you do that?
that is impressive. That essentially is the flow state, right? So this is a gift that only the most impressive and superior athletes are able to access. And I want to bring this access to everybody else. Because I myself in the past, I played college football. I was actually fortunate enough to finish my career as an NCAA All-American, right?
Wow.
So being one of the top football players in the nation, it's fair to say that I knew a thing or two about getting into flow state. And after writing my first paper, I was like, you know what?
The first paper was after your career in football, or was it during the time?
I love that question. So after.
Yeah, so you had data to back up your paper.
Yes. So the reason why I wrote that paper is because my whole football career, I kept on tussling with this concept of we wake up at 4 a.m. to work out. How can I get my best self? Why do I feel like this at 4 a.m.? Why does 12 p.m. feel like this? Why does 1 p.m. feel like this? We go to practice at 5 p.m. Why are these hours so differently? Right? And then after my football career, I had a whole lot of free time and I said, I want to explore this.
Yeah.
So eventually it was just something that I became obsessed with. Yeah, so the planned flow state, that is our mission at Spir Health, right? Like I was saying before, whenever those superior athletes tap into their most impressive levels of cognition and presence, they are able to access the flow state. Now, what Spir Health is doing is we've taken 74 months of case studies coordinated by myself, and we have of over 187 participants, and we've been able to create a framework that helps people get into the planned flow state. Meaning whenever you feel like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is different from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., what can you do during those points of the day to either create more of your peak hours or to shrink your energy dip? You get what I'm saying?
Right. In a way, yes. I mean, it's like I'm returning into a sort of a superhuman where I can control my energy levels throughout the day for increased productivity. Is that what it is?
Increase productivity, however you would like to use your cognitive resources, right? So let's say that was actually a very good point, because let's say you have a presentation. Today is currently Tuesday. Let's say you have a presentation on Friday. You are able to, while using Spir, channel yourself to the flow state by the time you do your presentation on Friday. Because of the fact that we know where your body clock's peak hours are, we'll be able to help you get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Right.
So it feels like Star Trek, NASA, like literally planned flow state. Who would have thought about it? So this is so interesting. But I remember we had a discussion and you were talking about like more high-tech stuff like burnout prediction or burnout forecasting.
Yes.
And you also mentioned something about biohack management. I'm actually that curious.
Yes. Okay, so I get excited about this stuff, by the way. So the three main benefits that we offer people who use the Spir Health platform, planned flow state being our number one, we also have two offerings. The second one being burnout forecasting, meaning because not all hours are created equal, right? And because some hours feel like a dip, how are you able to properly know when the dips are approaching? And how can you
avoid
Work.
those dips or work around it or give your body a rest?
Exactly.
Which one of it is?
It's like predicting future.
If you understand the science of body clock, this is something that will put you in a competitive advantage, of course, just like the superior athletes.
So athletes, it's also good for traders. It's good for creative people. It's good for multiple
Yes.
teachers, maybe.
The use cases are unlimited.
I think for everyone.
For everybody.
Everyone needs it now,
Yes.
you know. And
Yes.
in today's world where you listen to, I've had enough for the day, I'm tired, I'm not in the mood.
Yes.
So it's for everyone, I guess. Now.
Yes.
So I guess you sort of hack into the human performance structure.
Yes. So, wonderful. So our third benefit that we offer people who use the Spear Health platform is to manage their biohacks, right? So are you guys familiar with the term biohack?
No.
Okay, so for anyone,
I know one thing, which is the biohack, which is the hand whacking the back of your head to bring you into your senses. That's the biohack I know.
well, you know what? If Spear Health did that, we'd be in a lot of trouble. But for the most part, biohack is a recently new term that sprung up with people of the longevity and wellness community. And essentially a biohack or health hack is, like the research comes out and says, research shows if you drink coffee at 6 a.m. and you chew bubble gum and walk backwards for 6 seconds, you'll begin to start levitating and floating within 30 minutes. Right, so I'm being comical, but for the most part, that's what a biohack would be, how to hack your biology. Because of these new findings, scientific research that we're getting about human biology, right, we're able to know how to manipulate different aspects of our environment to bring out qualities of us that we are pursuing or we wish to have.
So tell me something, so much research, so much engineering, so much of data being processed externally, mapping it with the customer's internal data, because I remember you told us that you could pull in data from your health apps of your phones, which are connected to your wrists, and you are taking in all the metrics. How much does this thing cost?
To access the Spear app,
Yeah.
it's actually very simple. For $5 a month, you are able to access our most standard version of Spear Health. This is called Spear Pro.
Only for $5.
Only for $5 a month.
So $60 a month.
Yes.
Basically, one day of rental with Enterprise. A Nissan Altima.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to cost me for 365 days to help me navigate custom, personalized, backed by science, cutting edge technology in my phone.
Yes.
For peak performance.
Yes. Now, I do want to say this though. Spear Health. So one of the interesting aspects of Spear, our Spear Health platform, is it's a highly gamified lifestyle and habit tracker, right? So because it's so gamified, I want you to think of it as the Duolingo for peak performance.
Yeah.
Right. So because of its gamification nature, our standard version, which is Spear Pro, is the lowest tier. We do have two other tiers. We have Spear Max and we have Spear Ultra.
Oh.
Right. So these other tiers offer you much more capabilities, and in addition to the capabilities they offer, you are also able to have more modalities. You can access different aspects of the platform that really becomes robust. And if you think of human performance kind of like flying a plane or flying a jet, right? This will be the
Dashboard of
exactly.
sorts.
Exactly.
But tell me something, are there any other competitors in this space?
Yes, actually. Can we talk about them?
Why not?
Sure. Okay. So
It's a free country, last I checked.
I hear that 100%. Yes. So this chronobiology space, right, is because it's starting to explode. The actual use case, right, that one and done use case for this science is still transforming, it's still taking form. So because of that, right, we have different apps who take different approaches at the
Don't tell me are those sleep apps.
yes.
Oh God, that's boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Playing some music in the background.
So one thing that we did notice from these apps is that they're just simply modalities,
Yeah.
Right. And essentially what Spear Health is, we draw inspiration from meta tracking platforms such as Bevel Health, Sonar Health, Gyroscope, Bright OS, right? And that's our first layer. Then we have our second layer, which are the modality apps. We're talking your Brain FM, the Atomic Habits app, the Fasting Clock, Fastic, right? These different apps. And now, as far as our main competitor, one company specifically who use an interface like us, where they show you your peak hours, would be a startup by the name of LifeStack. So LifeStack, yes. So from me just studying their organization, they intrigue me. I find them very fascinating because they are a young group of inspired young individuals who are really, basking on this mission, right? So they were able to also see where the direction of this science is going into. For them though, their vision is they kind of see it more as neurotech and as like a calendar use case, right? So the calendar on the Spear Health platform, we do have a calendar use case, but when you're using LifeStack, you'll see that they really dived into the different aspects of using the calendar and having your body clock's peak hours right there. Now, another startup that I've always been intrigued with, this startup for years, is Rise Sleep. So Rise Sleep are actually, in my opinion, they're the originators of the original body clock interface, right? These guys are the first ones who created an interface to try to communicate to their users where the users' peak hours are, right? But for the most part, it's a sleep app. It tells you your sleep debt, it tells you how much you slept, and it shows you your energy levels, as well as having the calendar interface. So those will be our two closest competitors in terms of body clock tech.
Yeah, but the last part, my question, biohack management.
Beautiful. So when we're managing our biohacks, right, there are apps that function like modalities. Now, Spear Health is more prescriptive in nature, right? Because we're in the age of the Oura Ring. We're in the age of the Apple Watch. We're in the age of Ultra Human, right? Samsung.
I just thought this was fashion. Are you telling me this is all tech?
This is all tech. You see it's glowing.
Oh, you know what this is?
What's that?
This is the vibe check. When I rub this tone here,
Yeah.
it tells me what you're thinking.
See, that's a biohack right there. That could be a bio. You might have to put that into the research.
Yeah.
Someone is going to have to find that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the Spear Health, in comparison to other, let's call them dashboards or health OSs, right? Spear Health is a highly prescriptive, highly gamified, holistic health OS, right? So what this means is it prescribes you different things. So let's say you didn't sleep all that great. You have a podcast with Coach Sharq in the afternoon,
Yeah.
right? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You woke up at 5 a.m. and you have the next 10 hours to get ready, right? What Spear Health would do, in contrast to the other startups, is Spear Health will literally tell you, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do that. Full prescriptiveness. And to make matters even better, excuse me, because we're highly gamified, we make it fun.
Okay. So basically, I have a companion which is sort of taking care of everything. I just need to open up and give access to my vitals and to my goal.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen the app. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm very much intrigued by whatever I've been listening, and now technology. So what tech stack, what was used, how long did it take, what stage you guys are at, how is it going, and share everything about it.
Man, so the timeline has been, the last 6 years have probably been the most dynamic years of my life as a founder. And that's because originally Spear Health pivoted multiple times, but outside of the pivot, we're currently on our third rebuild. So back to the tech stack question currently, because our inspiration is the gamification aspect, we took a path down the Unity engine.
All right.
So we're developing,
Which is the gaming engine.
Indeed. So we felt that the Unity engine allows us to really turn on the full throttle and really deep dive and explore the world of how we can interface our different gamification elements, if you will, for the platform.
How many man hours have gone behind it?
We're talking about a startup that began in 2019. This is, it's almost innumerable. It's really hard to put into numbers, but I would say somewhere between 35,000 to 40,000 man hours have gone into the creation for Spir Health, right? And my team right now are extremely loyal, they are competent, and they are intelligent, right? So these aren't just simply just man hours that we're putting into it, right? Our main theme at Spir Health is inspiration, right? Because you can't spell inspiration without Spir, right? And because every day we show up with inspiration, as a matter of fact, our meetings are called inspiration calls, right? Because every aspect.
So you are the chief inspiration officer?
I am the chief inspiration. I am the CIO of Spir Health.
Yeah, it's like a head of chief information officer.
Yes.
And in one of the cuts, we just heard that you got a good news from one of your clients. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes.
The football team?
Yes. So recently, because of the level of traction that we've been gaining in the performance wellness tech space, we recently got an opportunity to begin to open relationships with the Long Island University football team.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So this opportunity allows us to directly give athletes access to a platform that helps them get into that flow state. And these are the younger athletes. So these aren't the Michael Phelps of the world. These are the much younger ones who are still learning to hone that craft of getting into their flow state and tapping into peak performance.
So you're not just B2B, now you're B2T,
Yes.
business to teams.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So more users, unified working coming to you through their cumulative data and customizing all these individuals into one big cohesive
Yes.
super athlete unit.
Yes.
This is amazing.
So it's wonderful. I love this because of the fact that when I was in college and I was on the college football team, we actually went to the NCAA playoffs back in 2016, and we never lost a game during that regular season. The only game we lost that year was in the NCAA national playoffs, and that whole season we literally felt it. We were in team flow.
Yeah, but you did not know at that time that you would
What was
be
happening?
forming something.
Yeah.
And now, as always, we towards the end of the show, we have a question. This guest of ours has managed to super impress us. Not that we are judging, but he super impressed us, and there's sort of a pressure for us to now subscribe to the Spir Max and give him a lot of dollars, which gladly we will, because he's promised that I would have more focus, which I need in my life at this stage. And what
And
we're
burnout
setting-
forecasting.
and burnout forecasting, because I don't know, all of a sudden I'm crashing in the middle of the day and I'm like, what's happening? I need a sugar cake, and then I go out and I have some gelato, which is not healthy because it's not helping the weight. But a last question on a more personal level, and it's a subjective answer expected of you. There's no right or wrong. And this also proves, if you saw the episode that went online last week. So the question is, what is the gray matter to you?
So gray matter to myself as a man of science, I'd like to say, is the parts of the brain that grow as we are discovering and uncovering and developing as human beings.
That's very scientific, Dr. J. Thank you very much. But it has been amazing. again, like I said, it's subjective, so there is no right or wrong. It's a question, and it goes towards a larger content piece that we create for our show promo, where everybody's perspective of the gray matter comes across. So it's for that. But now we'll just close and thank you. Khurram, go ahead.
Thank you, Jay, for coming.
Thank you. It was amazing. It was excellent. It was inspiring. And let's get to some exercise.
Listen,
Yeah.
the pleasure was all mine. I'm ready to get started, baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And we can say bye-bye to the camera, all of us.
All right.
Bye.